right. So how about now? Just put.
I just was. I clicked on stuff.
Let me, oh yeah, go ahead.
It ain't printing it.
Let me see it.
It's not typing the word up
All right.
top.
Hold on, man. Why you go? Why didn't you just go right here and pull up in your tab, little thumbnails or whatever?
You found it wouldn't let me get to it. The screen wouldn't roll.
Here we go. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with your screen.
Mine dropped that sugar.
Well, here I can't get the movie either. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's like it's froze up or something. So let me just go ahead and finish saying this. Then this is how we recording now, so it'll be all right. You ready? So this
Yeah, quit breathing so hard.
is all right. So that's the dog breathing like that.
No, why don't you say today is get the date? I know. I said Jen, quit breathing.
I thought you said for me to quit breathing. I said it ain't me. So this whenever you was, let's just start off like this. So you think about it. So when you was born, I told you about the birth certificate thing with the two birthdays, right? But that's your public operating utility. Is what they created for you. So you gonna write it down? I like it. Here you go. Here goes the pen. You can use this one. Oh, right here. I know it's a good pen. I'm about to use that thing. I was about to use it. I said, dang.
What here? Are you gonna write?
Nah, I'm not. You can write since you want to be. You was gonna be right now. I'm just gonna be telling it to you. I figured that's why I'm telling you though. We could be doing this live though. I don't even know how. First time ever, so I don't really know how it works.
You want to put that right here so while you're looking, it maybe look like you're looking at the screen.
No, it's all right for right now. It's all right for right now. Everybody gonna see. I mean, they see what they see. Some people, I'm sure. I guess some people gonna comment too. You'll see what I'm saying. Even me talking about something I'm reading out of things. Some people still gonna comment about it. But
we'll put a date on it.
It's recording live. It knows what day it is.
No, but I mean to the audience.
Just come on and do it. Write that down. No. So I can just get this on the road. The bill of exchange is what we talking about though. Yep. So we was asking about the light bill. So I mean, you can still ask your questions. I want you to, so we can see.
Don't turn it to me.
Turn it what?
Don't turn the camera to me.
The camera's not gonna be on you. Promise. It's all right.
Oh, you said I can ask you a question while you're live.
Yeah. About what?
While you're live.
It's live right now. It's recording. So the bill of exchange, though, I was just saying, I was telling you about how to pay the light bill or whatever. So that's what I was trying to tell you why they send you that and all of that. So when you get the bill in the mail, it is a bill. Just like if I gave you a $20 bill to go to the store, you'd have a bill. That's a $20 bill. So whenever you get the bill in the mail, it comes like this. So this is your bill, and it's got this at the bottom of it, right? And they say tear this off and send it back. It's a remittance slip. All right, they say that it's a remittance slip if you tear it off, but if it's on there, it's a bill of exchange. This whole bill right here is bonded, and when you tear that off the bottom, it's no longer a bonded bill anymore. It'd be a remittance slip that you send in. That they say just to make sure the right account gets paid. But if you keep this like this, you write accepted across the face of it, right? But this what we're gonna read why that's from the start, like we were talking about doing. So you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So if I ain't around, you ain't got to worry about having me to tell you. You could be like, I read it. This is what I know. So this is the difference in the 2% of you not believing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said you got to trust it, because when you read it, you'll trust it. If I'm telling you, you don't believe me, which belief says lie in the middle of it, right? So I could be lying, possibly. BELIEVE. It says lie. So I could be lying, right? So it's good to read. But the bill of exchange says a bill of exchange is short-term negotiable instrument. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want I want to read the Bill of Exchange Act itself. Damn it, where's the Bill of Exchange Act? Let's see. Because it actually, I'm gonna be live all the time. But I was looking up, I was wanting to read it like the act itself, not just the thing. So right here, Bill of Exchange Act, purchase agreement to just get. Oh man, this ain't even. Man, Well, just make it so the bill of exchange. I'm gonna find that read in a second. But whenever, well, in the bill of exchange, it says that the drawer. Remember, we talked about that. The drawer being the damn light company. That when you go up there as a public operating utility, they're just a public utility. You're going to loan them your operating part of your public operating utility when you open an account with them. So they're going to send you a bill in the mail, which they're going to say it's a statement, but it's the statement on the front side and a bill on the back side with a remittance slip, or either page 2 with a remittance slip, what they call it. But this is a bill of exchange. That's why it's a coupon. So anyway, when you go up there as a public operating utility and you get in an account with them, you let them use your operating part, which means that you are a what they call it, a co-op. So the light company belongs to the people. They tell you that all the time. It's a co-op. That's the truth. But we just don't know. We just don't know these things because we were taught wrong in public school. You know what I mean? So in public school, you get public information, and from your family, you get public information because they don't know no private information. But you got to put up, yeah. So, but it says the drawer. Now look. So the drawer. Look at this. You would say the drawer would be DPU, right? So, but then you're like, well, it says it has to be signed by the drawer and all this. Well, if you go look up the signature and what a signature means, that logo is a signature. So it is signed, right? Okay, so now the only thing left now, but I'm jumping ahead because so the reason that it's like that though is because of House Joint Resolution 192 and all that. When they asked our family members, our ancestors to give over all their wealth, right? They helped them during the war when it was a hostile corporate takeover of Germany, wherever they was trying to take over the corporation, because it's always been a corporate war. It's always a corporation thing. So that created this where they went and gave in their time and equity, their sweat equity. You can't get that back. That's gone, roughly, right? So our family went and turned in to go to a job and work for other people, and then get a check in the mail, or either get paid by fiat cash. Like it's not money, you know what I'm saying? Fiat money. So then it's called debt, fiat money. Exactly what they call it. And if you'll see S with one line, talking about fiat money. S with 2 lines, talking about gold and silver back money. Because the gold and silver ain't never backed Federal Reserve money ever. They just said that, but it was not backed. It's backed by the seal, the gold seal. But anyway, so that's what gives them the capability to do this, is because none of your bill, all debts belong to the United States. They are the debtor of everything. Public, all private debt that belongs to the United States. So anyway, all these corporations, they send you this bill of exchange. When it comes, they say the payment is due. Well, me, because I'm for my estate, I'm the living person. I'm the agent for my corporation that they created for me. My corporation can't sign, can't read, can't write, can't do any of that, can't talk. So I'm the agent, the living person, not a person, but the person means entity, but the living soul that can do all this. I can read and write and talk and all this. So I'm the agent for the corporate world, my corporation, because it's a dead corpse. So it can't talk, can't read, write, none of that shit. So I'm the agent. It acquires the debt, and I'm responsible for the payment. Right. Payment means what? You said right, but what's payment mean? Yeah. Performance. It means performance, not to send no money back. It don't mean to send anything of any kind of value to them. It means performance. So the performance is me performing on this bill by writing accepted on it, or either using a stamp and stamping it like I got with mine, stamp accepted on it, right? And then when you do that, is this the newest bill? This is the newest one right here? January the 10th. This ain't the newest one, but don't worry about it, because I'm gonna just show you like this anyway. But because if you do all that, then you gotta pause and all this. So, but it's like well, it's good. Yeah. So that's what I'm telling you too. All that's in the bill of exchange. But so this is my stamp I was telling you about. It says accepted for value. It says accepted for value, received for value, and returned for value as a consideration for the settlement and closure of account UCC 1-308, House of Resolution 192, 1933, and U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 10. And then it says signed with a line, date with a line, and then without prejudice, UCC 1-308. So that when I stamp this, then if it was mine, but this is a blank, so I can stamp this one for you. But Boom. So when I stamp it now, when I sign it right here, it's accepted.
Right.
Per the Bill of Exchange Act, it says the only way to become the bearer of an instrument is you must accept it.
Right.
So now that you accepted it, you are the bearer.
Okay.
So now you can write. So now that I accepted it, me as the agent, I accepted it for my corporation because they sent this bill of exchange to me, right? And so now I accepted it. So now I can go down here and perform on it. Perform means payment, right? So if I go down here now and I write pay to the order of bearer. Before you couldn't write pay to the order of bearer because you wasn't the bearer. You had to accept it first. This is how my interpretation of House Joint Resolution, I mean how the Bill of Exchange Act is. This is my interpretation of it, what I'm telling you. And this is what I know works with my. All right, so will you write pay to the order of bearer right here? Because why? Because now you are the bearer. I got one here. Because now you are the bearer, right? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just write pay to the order of bearer, but you're gonna have to sign. But you're not gonna sign on the front. But pay to the order, to order. Now you can write pay to the order of bearer. Now, so underneath that, in the Bill of Exchange Act, it says that you must. So over here, you see it says amount enclosed, and it doesn't have no number in there. And then that right here. So after you write that number in here, you would write. So it's 457 total due, 457.18. It's just like a damn check. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a Bill of Exchange. Also, a check is a Bill of Exchange. But no, see, don't worry about that real quick. I'm gonna take. But you want to write it out in words right here? So you write 400. Or whatever the amount is, you want to write it out in words, just like you would on check. Because if there's a discretion in them, if there's a discrepancy in them, they're going to go with what's wrote in words before they're going to go with this number over here. Right. That's what it says in the Bill of Exchange Act. So then that's it. So now that's the performance. It's done. So now, but if you're going to see, there's different ways you can do it. You can actually deposit this in your account because you are the bearer of the instrument. And then you could send them back to match your principal credit to discharge the debt. But this number is in a positive amount because why? They owed you this for renting your operating part of your public operating utility. It's called a derivative. That's what they showed on the derivative. So that is your part of the company because it belongs to the people. So they sending that to you, but it's in a dead promissory note, a bill of exchange. So now that we performed on it, I performed on it as the agent. I performed on it. I accepted it, became the bearer, performed on it. Now it's payable to the bearer, which could be you or which could be the light company. It depends on which one you want to send it back to. You know what I mean? So hey, if you go to but whichever one, if you write pay to the order of bearer on there, whoever bears it can use it for discharge or whatever. So now when you flip it over on the back, it's got a spot right there for you to endorse it. Look, it leaves you a blank spot to endorse it. So, but back here, you're going to write by. This is for your name. Look, because this is the principal. This your name. So your name is in all capital letters right here, right? So where's it at? So that's the principal. So it's got your name somewhere on there.
Not the bottom.
No, it's at the top too, somewhere. I think it's got to be. Oh yeah, it's right there. It says in big ass writing, Susan, blah 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 blah. It's got a huge writing with red numbers above it. That's your account number. So on the back, you just write. This is for this. How on the back of a check you write for special deposit, or they say for mobile deposit only, or whatever. So that's called a special endorsement. You put special stipulations on it. It can only be mobile deposited the way you're trying to do it in mobile deposits. That's why it has to say that, right? So nothing on the back. You're just gonna write. Back here, you just write. You write. Sign. So it'd be by, and then your name, the principal's name. It'd be by your name, the agent. So I'm the agent writing all this. I'm performing, right? I'm the one making the payment. So it'd be by, and see, I got a stamp for this too, but I was just trying to do it without showing, like using the stamp, because it says the stamp says without recourse, pay to the order of in my all caps name, because it would be in my principal's name. You know what I'm saying? And then it says by, and then I'd be the one to sign on that line, and then it's got underneath it, and then it says 12 USC 411. You see, but I can't stamp that stamp on here because you have to write this out. So you would write the same thing though, without recourse. You write the same thing without recourse.
Oh. On the back of that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you don't have a stamp yet or whatever. Like this would be my stamp. I made for that. I don't really know how this law works, but I'm just kind of just winging it here now. I'm just kind of winging it.
Without recourse.
All right, pay to the order of without recourse. See, not I know, so without recourse, pay to the order of, and then you would write this right here, your name as the principal, which is just your name in all caps. Whatever name is on the bill is the principal. I mean, once you do it one time, it's so simple. You'll be like, damn, I didn't even know. But that's the whole doing thing you're talking about. If you don't know, you don't know. But the only way to learn is to damn look it up. Or get me to explain it to you, either one.
All caps.
Yeah. Well, it ain't all caps. It's something. See right here, whatever it says on the top of this bill, that's the name. That's what you want to use. That's the principal's name. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the principal is the one that gets the debt, and the agent is the one that performs on the payment, makes the payment, performs this writing and shit on here. So then on the back you write that. Then it would be by. Then that without recourse right up underneath it be by. Like the word by with a semicolon.
No, without recourse, pay to the order of. Is that backwards?
That's right. And then you have it'd be all caps name or the principal's name that's on here, whatever the principal's name is, right? And then underneath the principal's name it say by with a colon with a line to write it with the sign on, because on that line right there you would sign as so without go picture order of all caps name, and then it says by would be the agent's name, the one performing the payment.
Autograph.
Yeah, so that would be your signature or your autograph. Yes, yeah, your autograph on that. And underneath it, it'll have your name again printed out, whatever, just so it'd be like the cursive form and then the printed form. So you need to write up underneath it, just print the name underneath it. You know how to be asking for that on documents, print and sign, whatever. Now, you asked me about the date on the front right now. That's it. That's as far as that goes. That's it. So now you send this. So now this is the address you send this to. You after you put that endorsement on the back. That's it, right? No more. But now this instrument is payable to bearer, which is the light company when they receive it back in the mail. Registered mail. You need to send a registered mail to the light company, not to the light company either. To this address I'm about to give you. Whenever you're ready, tell me. I'll tell you the address. It's 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah, it's northwest. You know how they do the north with end up 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue, and then they do the little N.W. at the northwest, and it's room 3413. Make sure you put 3413 because I'm about to tell you why. Because that's a special place. It's in room 3413.
Northwest.
Yeah, and then there'd be room 3413, and then Washington D.C. under that. Nothing. That's it. Just northwest. It'd be 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue, N.W. like that, and then it'd be right up underneath that, right? Room 3413, and then right up underneath that, right? Washington D.C. 2022.
Northwest goes.
It goes at the end of Avenue. Yeah. It'd be N.W. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then Washington, it'd be what you got? Room 3413.
All right, room
3413. Washington D.C. $20220. And but the reason now listen, at the top of the address, whose address is that? You want to know that, or you don't care who's that? You don't even care, and just send it. Oh no, look, it's the damn Department of the Treasury's Office of the Executive Secretary's office. Yeah, put attention. Like put attention. You know, that'd be in the military. You put attention. Department of the Treasury's Office of the Executive Secretary. And then you put the address under that. Yeah. But that is the only place that bills of exchange, that is the only person or entity or whatever, like that. He's the only person that can damn discharge the debt of any bill of exchange.
Office of
Yeah.
what?
And you send it registered
Office
mail.
of what?
It's Department of the Treasury's Office of the Executive Secretary. And the Executive Secretary handles all bills of exchange debt obligations. Because all debt belongs to who again? The United States.
Office of Executive Secretary. What else?
The Executive Secretary. What do you mean what else?
Attention. Office of the Executive Secretary.
Well, it should have been Department of the Treasury's Office of the Executive Secretary. Sorry. Yeah, it's Department of the Treasury's Office of the Executive Secretary's Office. But really, if you just got it, probably the first part, I mean, just put the Office of the Executive Secretary. As long as you got that room 3413 in the address, that's the most important part. You want to say room 3413. So if you just put 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue, it won't go to the right place.
3413.
Yeah. And then the bill date, the due date, you want to, if it says due date and it's past that due date, you want to scratch that date out and put the same date that you send it.
On the back, put by.
Yeah. But we notice that it says like where you put that by, so you could sign it as the one performing the payment.
Without recourse, paid to the order of
the principal. That's your all caps name, the principal, the one on the bill.
The order of, and then my name in all caps.
With the principal.
By F.W.
With that would be your that'd be you, the living person. That'd be the performance. So it says paid to the order of your account principal holder, and then that by is because you're the one performing the payment by performing on it. So you're putting your name, your autograph in it, and then that's what gives that. Then you got a signature and autograph from you.
All right, send it registered mail, 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue. But before that is that one on foot. Department of Treasury. Attention, Office of the Executive Secretary.
But if you put attention, it'd be attention, Department of the Treasury, Office of the Executive Secretary. That's all one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you said it back. You put the attention after the damn Department of Treasury. But yeah, that's the address you send it to from 3413. That's the bill of exchange. But now I was going to read this to you too.
Executive Secretary, 3413. That goes next.
Yes, ma'am. Room 3413. Yes.
Room 3413. What else?
And then then oh man, I couldn't unlock your phone. I was trying to get in it, but I was the room 3413, and then you just put Washington D.C. 20220. Then that's where you send it to Washington D.C.
Too many tries. Shit.
Oh shit, that might have been me. I thought I knew it. I thought I knew it was a 7 or something like that.
It down a little bit.
I thought it was a 7 or something like that.
It is.
Oh, well, it wasn't doing it for me. No 7.
Well, 3 seconds. 2, 1. Very.
All right. Just as far as the bill of exchange that goes. Oh, sorry.
What do you say?
I thought I knocked that over. Here you go. Now see this. Watch this. Found PDF.
Executive Secretary, room 3413, Washington, D.C. That don't go after that.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe room 3413, and then go down one line under that and be Washington, D.C. 20220. Yes. I'm trying to pull it up, but
I pay $100 on the bill. There's a whole bit.
Well, you can't see. That's the thing. You need to. If you're gonna do it like this, why would you pay $100 on the bill?
Because this ain't gonna get done by the 14th.
What's today's date? I don't know.
Ninth.
Yeah, it might.
But,
It might. I mean, it goes. If you're going to send it registered mail, when you send it registered mail, they're going to give you a. They're going to when you send it registered, you get a little green card back that says that they got it. Right. That means they received it and signed for it. So now you got this back in the mail. That'll be back before the 14th, I believe. I don't know, 6 days. But I mean, like I said, this is something too. Now, this ain't just. I can't. You got to once you learn it, you got to implement it and see how it works best for you because it's different for every single person. Is going to have a different experience with this shit, learning about it, whatever. But they're gonna try you. They're gonna try that like they don't know what you're talking about and shit. They're gonna do that on purpose. You know what I mean?
that's what I was asking you earlier. Once I send it in, that little red flag, hello, somebody's on to us. Is the way I look at it.
Well, shit, I look at it as like it don't matter if they know you're onto them or not. I mean, you scared for them to know you're onto them? I mean,
Well, it depends on what they're going to do.
Well, that's what
I
they
sent
want,
him
though.
a-
scared people gonna always be scared, and they're not gonna come forward with that shit. They want you to be scared, but
I
you ain't
know,
gotta be
but I
scared.
commented on Facebook something against the Republicans, and they shut my Facebook. They
Well, that's
shut my
something between you
Facebook
and
down for
Facebook.
3
Yeah.
weeks, and then hacked my account.
That's something between you and Facebook for real. I don't know why they would have did that to you, but
That was because of the Republicans. They didn't like
No.
what I said.
I mean, what did you say? You couldn't have been that bad. You it couldn't
It
be that
wasn't. It
bad.
was about God.
Well, that's probably why, because it's about God. They don't even talk about God. They don't care about God. It says, "In God we trust." You know why? Because in God we is the name of the trust account. In God we, they don't care about nothing about God like you think God. In God we is the name of their trust account. But that you don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
know
okay.
exactly
I didn't know
what
if you
you're talking about.
see what I mean by
When I
that.
pick up a coin on the ground, it's like I call that my God wink because it says in God we trust.
But you ain't got nothing to do with God.
Well, that's what you say.
I'm telling you. I'm saying as
I
far
need
as.
to trust God.
But so look at people. I heard the other day tell me that money is the root of all evil. Or that money is something. What'd you say about it? Is evil or something? Money is something. So somebody's evil or something.
Money can be the root of all evil. It's
But then
what
you-
that person does with
Yeah.
money.
Oh, I got you. So what makes it? Why? Sometimes it can be a root of all evil. But if you find a dime out on the ground, you pick it up as a God thing.
Well, because that's just a little wink saying trust me.
Yeah, but why would he use money if it's such a bad thing?
Money's not a bad thing. It's
Because
what
ain't none of that shit
what
money that we talking
people
about.
do is what is behind the person that uses it, what he uses it for.
Yeah. But see that the whole money thing is kind of is put against it because it's a debt. It's a debt thing. Money ain't money. So when you say money, it may be paper money, what they call it. They might call it paper money now to trick you, but it ain't money, nothing but paper. It's paper. The Federal Reserve note is nothing but paper.
Right. But that's just like if you were, it's what it stands for. If you were to write on a blank sheet of paper, I'm here to rob you,
Yeah.
and walk in the bank.
Yeah, you give it to them, there ain't no problems.
that
They
piece of
slide the money right in
paper,
your shit.
Right. But that piece of paper,
Yes,
the words is what
Yeah.
meant everything.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why that paper was so valuable. Now, if they went to court and they didn't have that piece of paper, he wouldn't get found guilty. Because that's the evidence also. If you go in there with guns blazing to rob a bank, and you go in there with guns blazing, you scare people and everything, everything's hostile and chaotic. Why you think in the old movies they robbed the bank with a damn note? They go in there with a note, they slide it over to the lady. She don't holler, oh my God, she's gonna do whatever. And then she puts the money in the bag before she even screams, he's already down the block in his car. Ain't nobody even called yet or nothing. So they robbed the bank with a note. I mean, I ain't saying that's what's true for now. I'm just saying it's something I think anyway.
Right. That's the way I do it.
But that's how. I mean, I think that's putting it in our face like they have to do anyway. They have to show us this shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they do it by a little shit like that, like movies and all this craziness and different shit. We just think it's a movie. Ha ha ha.
No, when you say they'll challenge me like how.
Not challenge you, but they're just gonna try to see if you know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, they might not. They might not even never contact you. They just zero. No, you get a letter. You get a mail. Like you don't go paperless because they want you to go. They're gonna ask you to go paperless. That's so you don't get this shit in the mail. So that's so you get. They ain't save the trees because they ain't saving no trees. They still gonna be cutting down trees and shit. But so you'll just get your bill in the month. You'll get it 1 month, and that bitch will say do not pay on it because it'll be zeroed out. You ain't never got a bill that says do not pay.
Or whatever.
You have got to know what I'm saying. Like
this is
the dollar bill is different. Yeah, the dollar bill is different.
Well,
The dollar
Like-
bill is a different kind of bill exchange. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
like, what can I think of? What about health care? They'll send
What-
a thing stating,
Yeah.
wanting to know, did I
It
have
could
this
be.
procedure or that procedure? And if there's a total, any kind of charge on it, they'll say, do not pay.
Maybe, but it's more like this. It's like, so if you pay over on account, if you ever pay, like say you owed $100 and you sent them $200, it'll say it's in your bill says do not pay, and it'll put a negative whatever balance, right? Because that's a credit, right? Well, so the difference in that negative and the positive is because in the debt world, the negative is positive and the positive is negative. Because this light, they sending you this light bill right here with a positive number on it. Why they don't put a negative to it? If you owe them this money, or if you owe them this bill, how come it's not negative $248 or whatever?
Right, but how come the world is in such a bind and this part of this country needs money and that country needs money when all we have to do can't print money, but all you have to do is do what you're talking about and they have money.
That's what they do when they print money. That's because none of them know this information.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
I
because
can
they
see
don't
on
read, I
TV,
guess.
Some
I
of
don't
them
know.
do. Some people do.
It comes back to the knowledge.
Exactly.
You got to know. There's two different kinds of knows.
I watched that last night on that people talking about different in the Congress and giving their opinion. A lot of them do not know it.
But there's two different kinds of knows. Thing is, the most powerful word used, you got K-N-O-W is no, and then you got no, N-O is no. But the people who know can no longer say no. So if you get the information, you can no longer say that you're not involved in that shit. You're not this and you're not that. But if you know, so you can't say no more. So once they realize that you know a little bit of information, just like this, knowing how this shit works, because you didn't know, nobody taught you this, you still thought that you were the
What
one.
is that going to do?
It makes it where they know that that they can't tell you no, because they know that you know that shit.
But does that threaten them?
It don't matter if it threatens them or not. I don't give a
know.
fuck about that. If you a slave, you a slave. If you think you worried about threatening you and you scared of that, then you a slave. Straight up. That's the only thing can be.
Slave or no slave, somebody come knocking on my door, but
You can't stop them from knocking on the door, but you can't tell them to get the fuck away from the door though. You can't tell them cease and desist. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't play that game. Get it? Y'all can leave right now. Guess what? They will leave. They have to. But you got to stand on your square. I'm telling you, it works just like that.
Just like they come up.
DSS come up here and you let them come up here. That is called a non-verbal tacit agreement. Under the doctrine of parents patriae, they got the right to do it now because you gave them consent. You didn't write it down. You gave them non-verbal consent. That's called.
They take action.
They can't take an action against who? How they gonna take action against who? Against who though?
By law, I guess.
It's not a law, no. It's not law. No, it's not. You can't be a corporation and law. So if like CPS, Child Protective Services, DSS, they are a corporation. They're a private for profit corporation, right? But it doesn't matter. They can't go by law and the corporate bylaw. So they either go by corporate bylaw or they go by law. So they go by corporate bylaw. That's statutes and ordinances. Whenever you go in there, you get them a tacit agreement, or either you say, yes, that's me. When they ask you your name and your address, and you say, yeah, that's me, that's a tacit agreement. So as soon as you do that, you gave them consent to go by the law on your own words. That's why they can't be held liable for it, because you said that they could do it. Because you ain't know no better. Ignorance of the law is not our fault. That's what they told me, and that's what made me start researching this. I done been to prison, all that. Guess what? I never researched why I went to prison. I didn't care. I just happened to be home. I ain't really give a shit. So yeah, I ain't never do nothing even bad enough to go. I should never went to prison for things I went to prison for, but I found that out later on when I'm a little bit older, you know. So like all this shit, I done been homeless. I done been without my lights for 10 months, and to kind of find out that all that shit is prepaid. And then you think I wouldn't go look that up? Like I figured that out, and then when I find it's written down,
still, is she paying?
I don't care how she paying her shit.
Isn't that what bill you talking about?
I'm talking all bills. You talking bill I was paying? My internet bill. Yeah, that's over there. That's not that bill. But my internet bill, that's the only bill that has my name. But all this shit works like that. I mean, when I finally implement everything I'm talking about, my shit, I'll be in 100% in the private. All the way to the private, all of that comes back to the way that I set up everything. Yeah. But look though, so far as that goes, that's something totally different. That's why That whole thing is a 98 series EIN. That's a foreign grantor trust. That's protected. It's an offshore account. That I set that up, right? I got the EIN. It's a 98 series number. Underneath that, I got a corporate side that's under the trust, and I got an unincorporated associated side that's me under the trust. That side has a private bank, and I got an EIN for that. I have an individual banker with an EIN. I have a customer, the principal, and I'm the creditor on the unincorporated association side. I have an SPV called a JSW Asset Holding Company that holds all assets, right? And under the corporate bank, they're shareholders. The shareholders hold all the shares. There's only one beneficiary. The beneficiary is the trust. You still don't see what all that. All I'm saying is, no. I'm saying I just showed you how to set that. What I just told you is a financial or whatever you call it, an investment strategy that I don't know too many be talking about. Too many people talking about. I'm talking about it now on this live or whatever. I don't even know if there's anybody watching this. So I don't really care. I just did it so we had the video too. But so think about that shit. What I've been telling you, you've been talking about, you've been doubting me on that or whatever. You ain't sure, and I'm not sure about you getting this and that. So what I'll tell you about that, it all comes back to the Bill of Exchange Act. So all of this stuff is a bill of exchange to do with any contract that you get, no matter whether you go get a car, no matter whether you go get whatever, right? Like, so this is the difference right here. Is like, so this is a demand promissory note. This is a note that I made. This my nation can make this note up. So like the Federal Reserve is in Puerto Rico. That's why they have to borrow money from the feds. They say we got to borrow money from the feds. They print that money off of bonds. A bond ain't nothing but like the same thing I went to go bond her out of jail with that when I went up there because I'm a producer of surety bonds. So I could produce that same bond because it ain't nothing but a piece of paper. That piece of paper has just got blanks and shit on it. The bondsman fills out in spots, and then that what gives it the value. Like the judge told me he was going to accept my shit. Like the judge at the municipal court not being a bondsman, not trying to be a bondsman. So that's how this shit. I'm telling you, this shit is nothing but commercial paper. And there's something called the NBES, National Book Entry System. That's where they put bills of exchange on the book. Everything in the public goes on the book entry system. So like these people have billions of dollars in the bank. They don't have billions of dollars in gold sitting in the bank and shit. They got $1 billion on book entries. They got like the regular ledger, the book that your shit's on at the bank that you see your statement on. Then they got a green book entry behind that. Then they got a gold book entry behind that. And that's where off book. Then they got a black book entry, gold. That's called off book funds. That's all the money goes into the CEO's pocket because nobody else don't know about those.
Well, how was it court and those people? What were they working in? Because the judge said he knew he takes what you said.
Yeah.
How were they legitimate?
Because the clerk of court was trying to make it like I was a bondsman, but I'm not a bondsman. I don't have to have a license from the state to be a bondsman because I'm not a bondsman. A bondsman gets a 90% discount. They only have to give the court 10% to get the person out on bond. You know what I'm saying? But they're not giving them 10% of no Federal Reserve notes. They're getting this bond form right here called a surety bond. It's just a form you can print off the municipal website, and you just fill it in for the amount. And then when you autograph it, you put the backing behind that bitch that's worth that amount, and it's just paper. It's the same thing, paper money.
And it doesn't become worth anything unless the person don't show up.
No, it don't become worth anything. It's worth the value right when you autograph it.
I know, but it's far.
You know, if the person don't show up, damn, it's still worth the same amount. 9,000. No, that see, it don't see. That's not how the whole thing works. You misunderstanding how that works. That's not how that works. If I give them the whole 9,000, they will refund the 9,000 if the person shows up. But if they don't, they just keep it. You see what I'm talking about? So that whenever the bondsman puts up 900, that's some bullshit they doing through the state right there to make you have to pay $150 to the state to get a bonds license and take those classes and shit like that. Because me being a producer of surety from at the Department of Insurance, that's who's over the damn clerk of court. She was trying to. That's what she said. If I called the insurance company, they said I could do it. I could do it. So when I went up there and told them I was trying to post a surety, I wasn't trying to post a bond, a surety bond to bail somebody out. I was just trying to post the surety bond that the judge implemented.
Right.
So he said it was $9,442.50. So I said, me as a post of surety, the family called and said, hey, the judge said this. I'm coming up here with the whole bond, the whole $9,442.50, and I'm posting it, the whole thing straight up. And if somebody gets out of jail because that's what you are telling them they got to pay this bond for, That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's something on the back end. You see what I'm saying? That's just that's just something that happened because I covered the surety. So you see what I mean? That's the difference. If I went in there and said I was trying to bond somebody out, that's how I have to have a bond license. But then, see, I didn't go over their head and trick them. I just talking about something that they don't know. But just because I know it and y'all don't know it, don't mean that you can treat me a certain way because it's so over your pay grade or whatever because you don't know how it works. So at that point in time, at the clerk of court, she should have went and researched the shit and see how it worked instead of telling me I can't. So that's why I filed a COL that under the color of law against them because they can't tell me that I can't post things like that. If I'm a producer of surety, how can you not keep? How can you not accept my surety bond?
Right.
If you telling me I'm trying to bond somebody out, I'm telling you no, I'm not trying to bond nobody out. But you steady saying that's what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. But you won't allow me to do it because you don't know what I'm talking about. When you thinking I'm wrong or I'm trying to do something crazy, but really, I'm not wrong. You just haven't. You don't know what I'm talking about. So therefore, that would be discrimination. They're discriminating against what I know and what she don't understand.
Right.
So you said that's how I was able to file that thing against her. No, for real, I'm not even kidding. So see the clerk of the court ain't nothing but a corporation too. They're a bank. The judge, the courtroom is a bank. That's all of them are banks. When you go in there, they do the same thing. SS the same thing. Matter of fact, SS 273, SS 274, SS 275. That's a bid bond, performance bond, and a payment bond. When you go in front of the judge, so they make you pay. When you go in front of the judge, first time, first appearance, when you show up for to make sure that you to show up in court, they can do a SS 273 bid bond. They put that in. Then they put a performance bond second time. Then when you get a plea bargain on your time or you get told you put on a probation or whatever, they do a payment bond and that comes directly from your SESTA QB trust account, the man who lives account. That's what that means. The one who lives. That's what SESTA V means.
So when she goes to court on the 14th and shows up, she said that's just a roll call.
Yeah, that's the first appearance. That's all.
And
just make sure you
that's
gonna come.
when she shows them I'm his. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's just
follow through.
That's just so you there so they can be like, okay, she's gonna play ball.
Right.
Because what else you do on courts? Basketball court, you play ball. On a tennis court, you play tennis. So everything on the court, you playing.
So when they call her name,
she says, "Yeah, I'm here." That's the tacit agreement that that's who she is. But really, it ain't. She should never answer that. Yeah, I'm here because they say this your name and your address. Are you here? And you're like, oh, I'm present, and I'm present. I'm here.
Not go to jail.
Well, I mean that
because
that's something that's a whole nother process. They ain't got nothing to do with this bill of exchange thing. That's something different. That's like standing up on my square. Like when I say I'm from the nation of Warren. Like when I went to court, I told them I'm not. If you don't have a trust in hand, a trust indenture, like saying the nation of Warren is my trust, right? So that trust, if you don't have that trust, saying you're the fiduciary and the beneficiary, then the judge implements the trust. When you walk in there and you say your name, address, this you, and you say, yes, that was the nonverbal tacit, but it was verbal. You said, yes, that's me. So you just verbally told him that you'll take all responsibilities and all spankings and punishments that come along with this because you don't know no better. See? Because if I walked out there right now and talked to you and I said, you owe me $50, you wouldn't, and somebody was out there with you, you wouldn't be like, oh, you owe him. You wouldn't look at yourself and say, you owe him $50. You're going to look at the person side, you say, you owe him $50. Oh, you owe him $50? They're going to look at you and say, you owe him $50? You ain't going to look dead on yourself and say, you owe him $50. Yeah, I know you done it. You owe him $50, right? That don't make no sense. But when they call our name in court, we say, yeah, that's me. But it ain't.
Are you going to be in court with her when she says
Oh, no, I mean, she said, I mean, she going to handle all that shit. I mean, she ain't trying to like do that this way, no way. She's gonna handle it all regular way. I mean, like I said, this something you gotta know. You gotta be one. This is standing on your shit for this. Oh, the lawyer, he might, even if he does know all this, he don't give a shit. He ain't about to help you stand up on this in court. He gonna try to tell you that that's all bullshit.
Why does she need him?
Because they make you have to have a lawyer to represent you, to to the court, because you don't know who you are. And listen, well, you can't go in there talking because why are you in the water? And you can't talk with water in your mouth. They call that hot water right down there in front of the judge. Or he ain't even really a judge. He'd be a magistrate. He ain't no damn judge. But that's why they always say, Your Honor. But you could be like, well, I don't know. We'll see by the end of the day if you got good, clean hands. Maybe then we'll call you honorable. But you don't know. But anyway, yeah. So all them attorneys and all the attorneys, if they have a bar card, they work in the same. They are public. They work for the courts. You see what I'm saying? They're working for the public courts. They're not working for the person, because it's called the British Accredited Registry. It's not even part of America. They're under the Crown Inc.
It just blows my mind why the world's in such a mess. If people knew this,
But that's because they don't know this.
maybe it wouldn't be.
The people don't know this. Why do you think they want to keep it secret? Because they don't have slaves no more to run and come work their little factory jobs and shit. You know, like you all the time. That's why I tell you, you got to change your whole way of thinking. Money ain't money, and the shit is it ain't. Cause see, you think she's laughing like that, but the funny part
I'm
is
not laughing at it.
the
Blows
money
my
ain't
mind.
money. Money is a monopoly, man. Like when if you play Monopoly, right? When we first start the game, I give you so many ones, so many fives, so many tens, so many 20s, so many 50s, and $100 bills to start the game off with. Maybe a $500 bill if you're lucky, and the person divvying out the money wants to play like that. But they give you a trust account off the rip. You get a trust account. So the same thing is true in this world. They create that corporation out of the placenta and they make it a corpse and it's on your birth certificate, like I showed you before. And that's their license, bond, insured. And then on the 8th birthday of that registration, they declared dead and lost at sea. They claim that insurance money and they put it in a trust account under in the likeness of your all caps name, under the Cesta QV, the one who lives account, under the public charitable trust account, under another account, probably ain't no telling how many umbrellas it's got over it, but they try to hide it. But that's how if you've ever got free lunch in school, you didn't get free lunch. That shit was coming straight out of your damn trust account. You've been acquiring debt your whole life, and it's coming right out of that debt account. And if you die and you never claim your account, because it's called you know that you're still a minor right now. But the reason why is because you never claimed your account. And it says that it's called a minor custodial account. If you don't, you can be 90. If you have not claimed your minor custodial estate or your minor estate and got access to your minor custodial account, then you are still a minor in the court's eyes, not in the world's eyes as living. You older. But if you're 90 and you never claimed it and you die, all your funeral, all that funeral shit you're talking about, you need life insurance paid, all that's bullshit because all that's paid for anyway. Because as soon as the person goes in there, autographs on the scene, that autograph pays for the shit. Whether you need to make some payment later on as a performance, which is not sending any currency in. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you send currency back, you make more deposits for them. If you fill out that remittance slip, send it back with Federal Reserve note, shit, they happy as hell because you just send them back. Like you send them all kind of damn extra deposits back. And it literally to the dead, it literally like sending in macaroni. It don't do shit. That's why your bills all right. That's why you always worried about your light bill getting cut off and shit. Because of that. But if you know, but see the stuff I'm telling you, ain't not what I think though. This is shit that I came across and learned about, and I read about it and found out that this shit is real. And when I went and read about it, I don't never reference nobody no more because I don't need them because I discern in this shit myself now. Like when I read something, I discern it myself, and if whatever I'm trust in my thinking leads me to believe that I can do this shit this way, then that's what I'm gonna do.
For the purpose of the YouTube thing, explain how you claim you get out of being juvenile. What did you say?
Oh, if you go open, so they tell you, so you got that's on your Social Security account, by the way, on your Social Security card, because on the back of your Social Security card it has a red number and a letter.
In order to graduate from a minor to how do you do it?
To be a grown, like an individual or whatever, like be a living. So you have to. This is what you gotta do. So on your birth certificate, on your Social Security card, there's a red letters and red numbers on the back. There's one red letter and one number.
Right.
And then that letter corresponds to one of the Federal Reserve banks.
Okay.
And then that Social Security number at the front with no dashes, with a 0 in front of it, is the account number to that same minor custodial account. So whenever you go to Treasury Direct, which is a bank account of the Treasury, oh, you got a Social Security card? Oh, you got one? So check it out. I ain't gonna show it. I ain't gonna show it no man. They can't read that fast no way. So check this out. But so this is just one of your employees though, you know. So this is one of the employees. On your birth certificate, you got an employee, which is this one right here. I showed you this before. I thought we talked about it before. When I showed you the two birthdays or whatever, remember? Anyway. Yeah, I was gonna try to find it, show it to you, but the birth certificate thing. I don't know if I might put it in that other damn book. But anyway, so on the birth certificate, you got two different two. That's where two employees are, and then the other employee is on this Social Security card because you got three employees. And when they declare that vessel dead and lost at sea, it's got three employees on it. And so those three employees are 666. They dead. They under the water. So when you claim them, when you take back control of that vessel, right? Because anyone, a minor is anyone under the age 18 or anyone over the age 18 who has not claimed their minor estate trust. So whenever you take claim of that trust, you'll make them into EINs, and they'll be nines. So now those sixes turn into nines, and all three of them can breathe again above the deck. So they're above the water now. They're breathing, right? So now, and then, so on your birth certificate at the top, there's a 3-digit number. It's called a fiscal, FISCA, a fiscal vessel district number. And that district number is, so if you use that district number, which is a 3-digit number, in front of your birthday, like your birthday, which is the first birthday on the birth certificate, right? So like mine's 2/23/82. So like it's the number 139, 1982. 23, right? That's a 10 or 11, 10 or 11, I think it might be 11, but that's an account number. So that's one account number. Now, if you take the same 3-digit number at the top and run it in front of the other birthday the same way, that becomes another account number. That's two employees. Then on the back of the Social Security card, you have that number on here. So I don't even see yours don't have a red number like that.
I didn't see it.
I don't even see that on yours. But it might be on the front though. No. Well, see, that might be something new now. I don't know. This on the back of the Social Security card, they have the red number and a letter right there. Used to anyway. I don't know what's going on now. It might be on the paper they sent it to you or something else. But that letter corresponds to one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks. And I know this for a fact because I called the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, and I kind of tricked the man into telling me that the account was open there because I told him the lady at Treasury Direct gave me this account number, routing number. I want to make sure it was this and this and this. And plus, you can go on your phone and you can link that account, and it'll link up to whatever account you're trying to link up to every time. It might not let you pull it out of it because it's got 2 dashes and the Social Security number. That's a partnership. So that when you get an EIN, they have 1 dash. That means that somebody solely owns that thing instead of 2 people or 2 entities, right? So that's why Social Security number has 2 dashes, though, because that's a partnership. And anything with ship at the end of it is in the water law. So that law is land, air, and water. The water law being the lowest. That's where the courts reside. So they're the lowest. So ship, partnership, relationship, conservative, anything with ship in that bitch is on the water. But so with that routing number to that bank, like mine on the back of mine is a D. So that D corresponds to the Bank of Cleveland, the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. That's what it corresponds to. So I use that routing number to get to the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, and my Social Security number with no dashes in it, with a 0 in front of it. And that I called up there and tell him that, and I said, well, can you just look it up and see why she would have gave me this? And he said, well, it's no need to. We don't have individual accounts here. We only have minor custodial accounts here. I said, yes, sir, I understand that. I said, I understand you only have minor accounts there, but at the Treasury Direct, they have individual accounts, but they don't have minor accounts there. Oh, okay, well, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll run it for you. Tell me the number. And I told him the number. He put it in. He said, well, damn, this is an open account. And I said, oh, okay. So now, see what I mean? So I know for a fact.
Not much was in it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know because I didn't get access to it yet. But this is when I was learning this shit, man. So the Treasury Direct, though, you go on treasurydirect.gov and you can open up an account on Treasury Direct as an individual, right? So then, as an individual, and then it asks you how, but it's gonna ask you questions, and you put your Social Security number in where it asks your Social Security number, right? And then you put your Social Security number where it asks you your Social Security number. Now, when they ask you at the bottom, it's gonna ask you for your banking information. And whenever you put in your banking information, what information you think you're gonna put there?
I'll be right number.
What number? The Federal Reserve Bank, the routing number and account number that we just established, right? Hell yeah. So that links them two together. So now your minor estate has been linked to the individual who's coming back to claim it. You see what I mean? Yeah. And then now that they're linked together, though, you're still not done yet. You still got to make a Gift to Minors Act account. And when you make a Gift to Minors Act account, then you can gift that minors account, close it out, and then you can gift using that Gift to Minors Act account as an SPV, a special purpose vehicle, pretty much. I guess that's what it would be. And you're using that to transfer that account over to this one after you close that other one out. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then you have control of your minor estate trust. But I also went further. I opened a sole proprietorship in my all caps name that matches my Social Security. My birth certificate. You hear me? Look, it's all right. It's about over. But I matched my own name that, and I opened a sole proprietorship, so I took control of that name too. So you know what I mean? That makes sense.
Right.
So now I no longer have no dashes in it. I own the name. I got a trademark, and I also, you know, what I'm talking about.
Yep. I
Oh,
thought I did it. So
I was trying to make sure you understand me before I.
I'm listening. I thought I had another social security card in there. I was going to look at it, but I don't.